live at Borsheims, which is a Buffett-owned jewelry store, and my next guest is a man who for more than 30 years has gotten the call at all hours of the day and night from Buffett, who has said, John, I want to buy 1 million shares of company XYZ. He's Buffett's longtime broker, John Freund, Citigroup's managing director of institutional equity sales. He joins us first on Fox Business. Good to see you.
Thanks, Liz.
That is one.
Great being back again.
Well, I know. We'd love to have you, but that is one heck of a title. The guy who has his fingerprints on every Buffett trade over the past 30 years.
I don't know if I've had my fingerprints in every one, but I tried to.
Tell me about how a trade for Warren Buffett works.
Well, usually we leg into things, meaning he calls and says, let's start buying XYZ stock. And we, over a period of time, we buy a certain percentage depending upon the price. And we accumulate a position very quietly over, a long period of time.
You just threw out very quietly. Folks, you should know that there is a very detailed effort to make sure that the market doesn't find out about this because, of course, every time he makes a trade, it could move the markets.
Yeah, we have put safeguards in place so to keep that information from getting out. Very few people see his trades, and it's all in numbered accounts.
Listen, for the past 30 years you've made these trades. Your first block trade for him was Geico at $2 a share, right?
Yeah.
How memorable was that? Because back then you knew Warren Buffett would be a very smart investor.
Well, it was pretty significant because it was one of the first trades I'd done with him, yes. And it's been, we've done a lot since then, obviously.
What's been the most memorable trade this year for you?
Well, I think it would have to be the Burlington Northern transaction because he ended up buying about 78 million shares of stock because he owned 22.5% of the company before he made the tender for it at par.
So you dealt with the stock trade, derivatives as well?
Yes, I did. Yeah, I think we did all the stock, and I believe we did all the derivative trades for him, getting him into the stock.
Well, preferreds are also something that you deal with as well. He has preferred shares in General Electric and Goldman Sachs, which has, of course, suddenly become so controversial. But how does that work?
Well, according to the annual report, he's got $21 billion in preferred stocks that he accumulated about 18 months ago in the fall of 07, the beginning of 08. And it yields on average 10%. So that's $2.1 billion a year he's getting just on those. Now, some of those are callable, like Swiss Re, where he has a $3 billion investment in. It's convertible at $25, but the company can't, 25 Swiss francs. It's trading around 50 Swiss francs. But the company, Swiss Re, can call that at 140%. But next March, they can call it 120%, and they said that they will call it next March because it's expensive capital. Goldman's paying 10%, Dow's paying, I think, 8.5%. But the average is 10% on that $21 billion.
What's fascinating, though, I think to a lot of people, is that this is a man whose stock portfolio is, I guess at last value, it was about $55 billion. Back when you started with him, it was, $650 million?
Yeah, I think at year end, what he earned on his annual statement was $59 billion, but it didn't include stakes like the Burlington.
Sure.
Yeah. Sure. And the Burlington trade's pretty interesting because, it closed on February 12th, and since then, the three other railroad stocks, CSX, Union Pacific, and Norfolk and Southern, are probably up anywhere from 23 to 25% since then. So even though he opportunistically made the purchase, I think they've done well in it.
He doesn't just buy, he also sells. ConocoPhillips he also got rid of, Procter & Gamble, a little bit of Ingersoll Rand. Are you part of that as well?
Normally, yes.
Yes.
And the answer is, sometimes he doesn't want to sell. He likes all those stocks.
Right.
But sometimes he needs to sell them just to raise cash. But he's always said, I prefer to own a whole company than just a part of a company.
Finally, you've gotten calls at 2 in the morning, on 4th of July, on Christmas. Are you always available to him?
He knows where I am. I'm not sure he always wants to call me, though.
Good to see you, John.
Great.
John
Thanks, Liz.
Freund is the man who effectuates all of Buffett's trades. John is with Citigroup. He's a managing director. Our thanks to you. Hey, David, come in.